Thank you for joining Where Construction Meets Smart Automation, AI-powered estimates by contractors for contractors. This webinar is sponsored and presented by Constructors.AI. I am Meredith Perez, Marketing Manager at AWCI. Before we start, a few housekeeping items. All attendees should be on mute during today's presentation, and should you have a question at any time during today's broadcast, please submit it by clicking on the question icon in the right corner of your screen, and we will answer your questions throughout the session. At this time, we would like to welcome our presenter, David Miller, who has spent his lifetime working in the wall and ceiling industry. From the tool belt to the boardroom, he understands what contractors need. Welcome, David.
Thank you, Meredith, and thank you for everybody online taking your time this afternoon or morning to attend. And so I'm David Miller with Construction.AI, and this is Raymond Finney. We're both construction tech pros. We have taken our knowledge, what we learned in the construction industry, mix it with tech, and here we are. So thank you very much. A little history where I came from. When I first started estimating, it was actually in 2003, where we actually saw blueprints and went to different construction offices, had tape measures and wrote everything down. I watched the whole industry transition, and with the AI, we're very excited to where we are going from here. So I'm going to give our presentation here, and then Raymond's going to jump in for the technical part of how our AI program works. Okay, Constructors.AI, where construction meets smart automation, AI-powered estimates by contractors for contractors. So before we go to the next slide, I want to make it loud and clear to everybody watching. AI here at Constructors.AI is not to replace estimators, to mitigate them, or to remove them at all. Every estimator is vital to the construction industry. The purpose of our program is to actually have another tool to be very effective. All right.
Hey, David, it's not sharing.
Sorry.
Not sure why, but it's not sharing.
Okay, back to here. So slide number 2. Estimators lose countless hours on admin tasks. We all know how much it is to write down different information, moving stuff from Excel to Excel. Everyone has their own different systems, and there's a lot of just clerical busy work within estimating. Manual data entry from markups to spreadsheet eats up 50% of the estimator's time. So the skills of an estimator, half of it is really just being wasted. Human error in transferring data can be costly mistakes. And I've seen this over years where all it was one cell got changed, a decimal point got moved over. A tiny error can cost millions of dollars. Limited bandwidth, fewer bids, slower turnaround. We all know what the pressure is. Let's say Tuesday, 2 o'clock, we got a lot of bids in, or wow, look what we have set for Friday. How do we tackle all these bids? This will actually help speed up dramatically as an estimator. Profit and loss on unbillable hours. We've all seen this. It's horrible. And then more bids equal more staff and overhead. So using our program will actually help the bottom line of the business increase because there's less overhead. All right, automated estimating, amplify output. All right, so our program reads your estimating markups automatically. You'll see this in the demo. So it's extrapolating that information that you already have put down there. It converts the markups into a structured Excel estimate. So takes the data, automated it's in there, and then works with your current tools. No re-platforming needed. So if you're using on-screen takeoff, Plan Swift, wherever it is, we're not asking you to throw it out the window and just use our program. We can integrate your already usable systems, which nobody likes starting from square one. And then also from our Excel, this is where we actually work with you to where an estimate sheet for a proposal can come out. 3 steps to faster and smarter bids. 1, you upload your project files. Plan Swift, Bluebeam, and you'll see in the demo here in a second. And then let the AI take out the busy work. It takes up the markups and intelligence. So the more you're using, the more the AI gets smarter. And it starts learning patterns. So it actually gets smarter. The longer you're using our program, the better it gets to your niche within the wall and ceiling industry. And then send more project bids. Receive your completed estimate sheet ready for pricing. And that's where we actually customize with you. How, if you're a firm that travels a lot, or maybe you're a firm that deals with certain logistics, we help build that into your system to really speed up your estimators. Okay, built by contractor for contractors. Number one, created by a team in the industry with over 50 years of combined experience. And like me personally, I've seen the transition in the past 2.5 decades of estimating. Proven success throughout North America, and really it could be used Europe, Africa, Middle East, and the ocean area. It's all the same style. Deep constructive knowledge that meets modern AI innovation. So the problem is you get a lot of tech pros that come out of Stanford or Berkeley and they want to get into the construction industry, but they haven't worked in it. We've worked in it, and we've worked with the tech pros to create where we're at. One quote from one of our clients, they said, we built the tool we wish we had years ago. Stephanie Miller from Miller Paneling Specialties helped us out on this. All right, flexible pricing that grows with you. So we do monthly or annual subscriptions, and this is where we kind of cater how your business works with our business. So we can do AI credits. So if you're one of these firms that are just churning out bid after bid after bid after bid, well, this can be a little more costly because we need to use the tokens for AI. But maybe you're a company that works on one big bid for 2 or 3 a month, and you're constantly, it's less. So it depends on where you're at, depending on the size of your company. How many estimators are in your company? Maybe it's 1, maybe it's 10. Depends. So this is a flexibility on it. So tailored onboarding for every team. So we don't just say, hey, put in your credit card, here's it, good luck. So you meet with us. We discover, how your workflows, how your estimating process templates and reporting needs. And we customize our program around your standards, markups, your outputs, your practices. Every estimator is different. Every company is different. Every niche is different. And we help. I mean, are you in the residential area, or are you doing schools, or are you doing hospitals, or are you doing data centers? So we kind of help what you're looking for in the launch. We train your team to begin using this immediately and receive support as your business grows. And every team works different. So, contractor A is different than contractor B, and we get that, and we understand. Why choose Constructors.AI over the other estimating tools? It's built with you in mind, designed by construction pros. We're not generic graphic engineers. We understand what it's like to be in the blueprints, but also in the field. AI without complexity, seamless workflow, no coding, no extra setup that needs to be. This isn't bait and switch. And then you get your immediate ROI. I mean, save hours from day one, and you'll see the productivity. You'll be able to bid more. And the biggest thing is your CFO will be very happy that there's less chance of an estimating error from something clerical, that you guys can be more profitable. And a scalable solution, grows with your team, integrates easily throughout Excel exports. So if you're just a drywall contractor, or you're doing drywall, but then you're also doing some flooring, and then you got paid, we can add those within it. So it's customizable. So thank you. That's our presentation part. Now we're going to get into the demo itself. So Construction Tech Bro number 2, Raymond, take it away.
And here we are. Thank you, David. Construction Tech Bro number 2, reported for duty. Oh my goodness. I think he just gave us an issue here. I know they're running that. All right. So yeah, he just did that. All right. All right, everyone, close your eyes for 1 second while I enter my password. All right. So essentially, what we do here is go through this process where once we log in, we can create a project. So create projects. Go ahead and drop some files in here. And upload this document. Doesn't take very long. Ultimately, this whole process actually only takes just a couple minutes. In the meantime, Meredith, do we have anybody that's got any questions from the audience yet?
We don't have any questions yet from the audience, so if anyone does have a question, please put it into the questions window. But I have a question for you. It's every contractor has different estimating templates and cost codes and their own internal kind of processes and details. Can Constructors.AI adapt to that way of a company's estimates? Like, do they have to massively change how they do things in order to use your platform?
No, not at all. That's one of the benefits that David kind of covered a moment ago, which is, yeah, we're not talking about changing workflows, nothing like that. You're using all your existing platforms, tools, and obviously the expert, knowledge that all of your estimators have. Markups are not being changed. Templates are not being changed, as well as we're just adding a lot of automation. At the end of the day, we're not asking anybody to learn a new estimating process. We're making the one that you've already got, perfected. We're making it dramatically faster. So as you see, so that just took just a moment there. As you can see, we're already uploaded here. So as this loads, what you'll end up seeing here as this loads is basically the floor plan that we were working on there. Takes just a second here. So we're gonna let the AI detect the legends here. This happens to be a estimate that was done in PlanSwift. So as you can see, floor plan here. Unfortunately, Wayne Enterprises said that we can't use the actual. We signed an NDA for that, so can't actually show that one here. So use the different one. But here's the floor plan that was uploaded. Just the relevant documents that pertain to this scope of work. As you can see, some things were highlighted in here. Anything that you see in color here was done by the estimator. Again, expert estimators going and finding things that are relevant to this. As we can see here, flipping through the different pages, they've highlighted some certain details that apply to that scope of work. Here's that floor plan, and AI is going to work right now checking this guy out. We'll give it just a moment here. In the meantime, as the AI is analyzing here, again, takes just a second, but or actually there it is. I was gonna say, do we have any more questions? But it's working pretty quick here. As you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different items here. This is detected all 8 items, all the information that was here. Just for what it's worth, it's also reading everything. Now, as much as we're sitting here saying it's just detected the things that are done by the estimator here, the AI is reading absolutely everything, taking a bunch of other information here, and saving that in the background in case you need it, and learning for future reference. So we will go here and generate a takeoff. Again, got a lot of information here on variables that you can use if you want to do some customizations. We're going to generate a takeoff, and that's it. So essentially, you've already got your cost estimate here. Now, you might have to do a little bit of, letting the estimators do some things. AI is not going to know for sure every instance of every job site, the logistics and all those things that, pertain to your business necessarily. But all of that information that you saw back here from this has already been transferred here. So essentially 100% savings on data entry times. Obviously, you're not going to have errors there. The data entry errors, like David mentioned, putting a decimal in the wrong spot, things like that. Obviously, you might still need to make some small updates if you got vendor quotes, things like that. If you already have your pricing, you can have these things structured in here, pull it from your database, things like that. And essentially what this has done is, this is just one example of one estimate. Obviously, the whole point of this is still we can customize it to your business and your templates, and make sure that this thing pulls out cost estimates that meet your needs. As you can see here, we've got some just categories for travel, miscellaneous charges, labor, things like that. So if we're going to say there's 8 hours for a foreman, 16 hours for a journeyman, and 16 hours for an apprentice at these rates, I don't know, let's just add 4 hours here. It's going to start doing things for you down here, like telling you what your total material costs are, which is basically just taking everything that you previously had up there, adding up all those categories that we already had, telling you what your total direct costs are, whatever your overhead might be, tells you what your break even is going to be if you're actually looking at these things, profit margins, suggesting bid prices for you, and then once you actually enter your bid price, you're looking at gross margins and things like that. So at the end of the day, again, just mainly filling out a lot of these things, automating the processes for you. And as you can see right there, it's really taking just moments to go from the start to the finish. Obviously, we used a pretty small example here just for the sake of keeping this easy to understand. But in our conversations with a lot of estimators, we're talking about entering all of this by hand can, on large jobs, take hours at times. And obviously opening up your room for possibilities of errors due to manual entry. And with that, I mean, that's essentially just how it works. And at this point, we can just go over to questions and see if anybody's got any other questions.
Excellent.
Ray, if I can jump in before we have the question, Meredith, can you explain too how we go from here to the estimate, and we can have an estimate pop out from here, like on a Word or PDF?
Yeah. So, and actually, here we go. We can do this too, which is oh yeah, everyone, close your eyes for one moment. Don't tell everyone my password there. We're actually sorry, and here's an actual another look at slightly updated stuff here. We do have these proposal templates where there are different templates where essentially you can take all that information and automate a proposal. So for example, you have the ability to auto number these things. Obviously this is just basic right here for the sake of just filling something in. You can add company logos. You're going to have a summary. You can add the scopes of work automatically based on whatever you've previously estimated there. Add your pricing. We've got qualifications, exclusions. Basically, just poof, start making proposals as well.
Which speeds up that process, obviously, right? From the Excel to the Word or PDF document.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So again, consistency of data as well. This is another section where if you'd like, as you're creating projects and linking customers, this is not, call it a true CRM from start to finish like other tools out there, but internal to the system, you can start tracking your different customers, how many bids you're doing with them and things like that, and start working on integration with other tools out there. We've got an AI agent built into here that can help you with plenty of other things, as you can see here, as well as we have the ability to integrate with other programs out there. We built connectors between programs, so you can actually link this to other say Building Connected as an example out there. So yeah, there's quite a few little nuggets in here.
Raymond, can you talk about the chat bot too on that? How we have the chat bot on our program?
Yeah, we got our little co-pilot here. So yeah, essentially you can use this guy, ask him questions. They can help you, help you build templates as needed or modify templates as you're going through it. So if we go back to say the win every bid template, which that's our favorite one whenever we're trying to win a job, and go through that, and if you needed to have it assist you with formulas or things like that. Yeah, just great little assistant there. And that thing just, as always, as you guys understand with, everyone knows AI, chatbots, co-pilots, the more you use them, they're going to start learning your specifics, which we can go through that and, continue improving to meet your needs. Very, very customizable.
Ray, can we ever bid within the program on a plan itself?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Instead of using a plan Swift, can we bid ourselves on the program, like a measure
yes,
on the browser?
We do have. Yes, we have the ability here and here's the new and improved one. So we do have the ability to create measurements in here. For example, if you happen to have uploaded the set and you go, oh my goodness, somebody wants to add this thing or change this little thing, or oh my goodness, as you're looking at this, you realize I missed something. You can go in here, and sorry, it's taking a second to load, but you can go ahead and add measurements yourself. you can, where is it? We can calibrate the scales, auto detect them. Obviously, if you have, whoops, a lot of these have scales, things like that, right? So if you're looking at the scale, a lot of times the AI can auto detect that. If you need to add measurements, do that and go ahead and, you can do linear foot, area, quantities, things like that. And again, you've got all this information here. Yeah. Trying to think. Yeah. Do we have any other questions?
What does the onboarding process look like? How long does it take to get up and running with Constructors.AI?
Look, I think it depends on the size of the business. I mean, if you're having 10 users and you're bidding a scope of 30 different templates for different products, it takes a little bit longer so we can build the templates with you. If you're just doing one product and that's your business focus on there, it's one day with us, you're set to go. It's not that long, so it depends on the size of it. But what we would like for you is, if you're interested, which I hope you are, is request a demo one-on-one with us that we can go through your business and then build up the needs that you need.
Yeah, and
it's
as
more
we mentioned in the slide
versus
too,
just a, hey, here's cut and dry, there it is.
Yeah, and it's really that three-step process. Do a little bit of discovery, then we customize it, and then you roll it out. As we mentioned, the takeoff templates are customizable. A lot of stuff's customizable. So obviously you have to do that discovery, coordinate with your team on what works for you. But at the end of the day, we're not trying to replace anything. It's a very hands-on approach by us to say, what are your current processes and how do we automate things? I mean, we don't really believe that the competitive advantage that you've spent years building and perfecting should disappear just because you've adopted a new technology. We want to boost your current processes.
How long, do estimators need AI experience to use your tool?
None. That's the quick answer, right? As you've seen here, we have things like the co-pilot that somebody can utilize, but really it's just using a chatbot, right? Just like talking to customer service on the other side. And as you saw, as we go through this process here, it doesn't necessarily require any expertise that an estimator doesn't already have.
Can multiple estimators use the platform at the same time?
Yes, so it can be collaborative. That's another benefit as well. Obviously, we want to make sure that, yes, you don't necessarily have siloed information unless you want it to be. Obviously, if you have an estimating team and you need to be collaborative, think general contractors, maybe there are different estimators in charge of different scopes, would like to be able to have them actually collaborate, right? So yes, that is a feature. For what it's worth, that's what all these are. These were created by a lot of different people. So yeah.
How does Constructors.AI fit alongside AI takeoff tools that try to measure everything automatically?
Yeah, the main thing that we're trying to maintain is that we're not trying to replace estimators. Look, David and I started estimating back when you couldn't do anything digitally, right? I mean, you're talking about going to plan rooms, highlighters, rulers, all that kind of stuff, right? So, anyone's been doing estimating for any period of time understands that there's still architectural errors, things like that, right? So you still need expert estimators to actually understand things, know your business model way more than AI is currently capable of. So with that, we're trying to let expert estimators still maintain that expertise by doing their processes. Again, when we're looking at letting them go through these plans, mark things up, use their judgment, and then it's just save them the time of automation. So yeah, basically, like, some tools really try and start from like blank slate and ask AI to do everything for them, but really, like, we're just trying to use the estimators markups, which is using their expertise of the estimators, not necessarily replacing the judgment of the estimators.
And if I can jump in there real quick too, I mean, we all know on this presentation that estimating is an art. It's not 1 + 1 = 2 every time. It's understanding this. So we're not really removing that at all, nor should it ever be removed. Our goal in AI here is how can we minimize any errors, maximize productivity, and maximize profitability in the bids.
Excellent. What kind of contractors would benefit the most from a tool like this?
Any of them that have estimators would be my quick answer, right? So yeah, obviously, if you feel like there's a lot of data entry, obviously that's going to be the first place to start. People get inundated with just feeling like they're typing things in. I mean, look, there's those jobs that you look at it, and I remember working with somebody that had been in the industry for 40 years. I'd hand them my proposal and say, hey, you want to check this before we send it out, and they'd go, yeah, I think that's going to be off by about 20 grand or whatever. And I mean, some of those guys just know everything, right? Well, the small job, you can eyeball some of it, right? Well, now we're talking about, when you get into the complex things where you actually have a lot of data entry and the risk for error, that's where you're actually going to want to start saving a lot of time and eliminating those potential errors. A lot of it just ends up being that automation. And again, building systems here that start linking to your other systems. Ultimately, that's the main goal, is, again, just being able to get things from one system to the next.
Excellent. What kind of time savings are your customers actually seeing?
Varies, of course. Minimum, I think what we talked to is 10% in terms of time spent by estimators doing automated tasks or mundane tasks that can be automated. But we've had plenty of people say up to half their time is just data entry, and this has actually solved that problem where it now, again, as you've seen, takes minutes to do this, not hours. And I mean, look, something like if it's uploading the plan for 60 seconds to 120 seconds, I mean, I don't know, go make yourself coffee and come back, right? Or just send that email for a second, and come right back to your process. So it really has streamlined their processes up to half their time. And therefore, I mean, look, when you could say you could double your estimator's output because they've saved half their time, people have been pretty happy with that.
I bet. Technology certainly, but AI even more so. We've seen such advancements happen in such a short period of time. So where do you see Constructors AI heading over the next few years?
It's a fantastic question. As anything, you're right. Everything evolves as we're going, and we're doing some R&D already. What's the next phase and where we're going? From the estimate, extrapolating information, more data coming from the AI reading. The more users we keep on bringing on board, the smarter the AI gets. So will it ever completely eliminate? No, but integrating into processes, into accounting software, and we're already working on that. Whether you're going through a Procore system or an Acumatic or whatever it may, we're working on situations where Constructor.AI keeps on bridging into multiple tech.
Excellent.
Yeah, and look, this is where I love this stuff because my imagination starts running wild and thinking of all these crazy things that we can do. But yeah, just adding some automation of the actual estimating. Again, still don't want the expertise of estimators being undermined. But adding more CRM tools, historical cost databases, more integrations like David mentioned, ERP systems, Procore, we've got building connected, whatever it is. Further tools with the AI agents, predictive estimating and error checking. We've got some of that stuff in the works. Material and labor forecasting. We've got lots of things that we'd love to add to this. Sky's the limit.
And honestly, and this is what I love about the Wall and Ceiling Association, and I'm wonderful that you guys are on. The more all of us collectively put in information on this, particularly in the wall and ceiling industry, the better we all get.
Yeah, that goes back to the AI kind of learning as it goes, right? And the more we feed to it, the faster it learns, but even the more the accuracy of what it can learn grows as well. So it's sort of twofold.
Yes.
I see Sean in our attendee list here with his hand up. Sean, if you have a question, please type it into the questions window. You can see it, the little question mark in the top right-hand corner of your control panel. Just type the question in there and I can feed it to Ray and David.
In the meantime, this is another question that we get pretty frequently, which is people worried about NDAs or data integrity, keeping their information safe. So as always, we're not, trying to, we want the AI to continue learning and getting better, right? It's just natural. But at the same time, if you do have an NDA, you check the box here, don't have to worry about it. It does not it gets siloed, and then you're just set. Pretty easy, just check the box and go from there. Yeah.
Excellent. We have a question from Walter. His question is, how efficient is the tool to identify different materials, different thickness for same material, hidden areas, back of parapet walls, composed areas such as the sides of a balcony and its ceiling?
So that's where we're still trying to let the estimators do that and only use the markups currently of the estimators and not let AI do that alone. And so ultimately that'd still come down to your estimators. As mentioned just a moment ago, we do want to have the AI continue learning, and the more it learns, future plans to add error checking so that it will do that. Now, like I mentioned before, it is reading everything. Now, everything that you give it, so you have to obviously upload that information for it to look through it. But with that being said, it's not currently going to do any of that for you, but the future plans will be to help with some error checking and give you that feedback and say, hey, you might have missed this.
But the second answer of Walter's question, there are things that, as we build your templates, that we can know with that template as it finds it on the prints that you've already highlighted on there. So that's part of the customization. If you want to find what is X, Y, and Z, we can then put that into the program.
Excellent. And Sean put in his question, how is revision control managed? Does it work with imperial versus metric? And how accurate is the takeoff? How have you validated the accuracy?
Yeah, so
yeah,
so the measurements is really just up to you, and whatever you put in there. So let me see if let's get back to one of these. Or actually here, I know this one's already loaded. So this one, like for example, this one right here has a material and it has it in feet. So again, it's just going to read whatever you've put in there. And again, when you get to the information getting into a spreadsheet's a spreadsheet, right? Like it just calculates that. So you're going to have consistency throughout that. It's not trying to reinvent the wheel there. And I forget what was the second half of it.
How did you validate the accuracy if you're making conversions between imperial and metric, I think is his question.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So, yeah, we haven't necessarily done that, just to be perfectly honest, but that is something that's pretty straightforward. I'm going to write that down so we can actually look at that, which for what it's worth, I mean, if you just go, our AI is very capable of doing that, which, pretty much simple math, right? In terms of just a simple formula.
Yeah, that's the edit of the custom. So we have a client that say, hey, they're working cross border, they're in Canada, they're in US, or down in Mexico. No big deal. We can have that. That's where we built into your custom template. That's not an issue.
Yeah, I would feel safe saying like that's the thing. We within a day we'd have that validated for you. That's pretty straightforward.
All right. Well, that's the end of my questions so far. If anyone does have a question, now's the time to get it into the question or the chat window, whatever you like best. Please, we'll just pause here for a minute and give you an opportunity to put in a question if you still have one.
And I would advise, if you want to dive in deeper, this is, send the email, get in there, and we will do a deep dive with your business and see how can we work together on this. So it's not a bait and switch. We will meet with you and see, well, how can we at Constructors.AI help your business be more profitable?
Yeah, that's why, for what it's worth, that's our whole goal is make sure it actually works before anybody's signing up or anything like that. It's do a consultation, meet, look at what your business model is, or estimating processes are, actually make sure it works before anybody signs up for anything, and make sure that it's actually going to save you time. Like I mentioned, if you're just eyeballing everything and it's working out for you, this isn't going to really add much to your process, right? But for anybody that really is spending a lot of time on the data entry and just really tired of the mundane tasks, this is a slam dunk. Yeah.
Excellent. We don't have any more questions at this time. Is there anything, Ray or David, you'd like to add before we close out the session?
I would like to thank everybody just in their busy day. I know we're all busy and trying to get a bit out by the end of the day for coming in and watching our presentation and new technology. There's a lot of options out there. There's a lot of noise in the marketplace. Every day you turn on the news, there's this AI that, and we're just here to help what we know in our industry. We're not looking to get into AI, anything outside of what we've done our entire careers. And we're looking to keep on improving our product better and better the more everyone's working on it, particularly the walls and ceiling group. So thank you for your time. I hope many of you consult with us and we can grow together and be the most efficient trade parts of construction. So thank you.
Yeah, I'll just echo that. Thank you very much for taking your time to participate in this, and hopefully we're talking to a bunch of you pretty soon here. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, this concludes our Q&A portion for the webinar, and thank you again, David and Ray, for this presentation and demo, and to Constructors.AI for sponsoring this online seminar. And thank you everyone for attending. We hope to see you next time. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.